So, jerking your meat. You guys like jerking your meat? I like to jerk my meat too. So in this recipe we're going to be making some venison jerky from this guy. Here I've got 1.5 kilos of meat from the back legs. It doesn't have to be from the back leg. Don't be afraid of using those front quarters, all the better. So what we're going to do, we're going to slice this down, maybe about 5mm thick, marinate it overnight. Then tomorrow I'm going to dehydrate half, I'm going to smoke half, and we'll see what comes out the better. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so that marinade's been sitting in there for about 12 hours. I pulled that out this morning. I didn't bother patting it dry because it wasn't swimming in marinade. For other recipes where you do end up with a really wet marinade, I would suggest patting that dry before you put it in the smoker or dehydrator. That will facilitate the smoking process. But for this, I ain't really worried about it. So I'm gonna leave that in for a few hours. I'll let you know the time, and yeah, here we go. Also, a quick note on dehydrators. You might be on the fence about whether to buy one or not. I think they're a good thing to invest in, especially if you spend money on those freeze-dried backpacker meals, backcountry and stuff. Having your own dehydrator, like A, it makes it way cheaper, and B, you've got complete control over what goes into that meal. So if you're into keeping your pack light and having a nice feed when you get to camp, let alone making jerky, I think they're a good thing to buy. So that's been about 6 hours in there now. Obviously, if time is important, you can slice that a little bit thinner than I did, but I do want that chew. I've picked out the two driest pieces here. That's the dehydrated one, that's the smoked one. I don't know if you can see that the smoked one's got a slight pinkiness to it. The dehydrated one doesn't, it's more brown. In terms of texture, pretty dry. That smoke does add something in terms of flavour. I would say texture, pretty much the same. In terms of flavour, I think the smoked stuff has got a little bit of an edge, but honestly not that much. Normally, if I wasn't going to smoke it, I would add liquid smoke anyway. So in terms of what's better, the smoky one, it does have a little bit more flavour. It does add something, but I don't really think there's a lot in that, I mean, especially if you were hot smoking on coals, all the faffing around, I think it's not worth it. Probably should just use the dehydrator. I suppose the conclusion I'd take away from that is there's not a lot in it, to be honest. I'd say for the faffing around, chuck a bit of liquid smoke in there, chuck it in the dehydrator. Both are good. Yep, both are good. Get into it.